are listening FM 98.2 directly from the University of Management and Technology. I'm Neelfor Ayesha और आज जो हम show कर रहे हैं it is about books. हमारा ये एक new this is our new theme where we will be discussing about the books and we are having here Mr. Ahmad Qureshi with us who will tell you about this show more.
Thank you very much, Neelfor. Thank you, UMT rocks. Bob Wheeler, initially when he started, is inspiration that we are listening to Bob Wheeler first, then the show starts. This theme is a very interesting theme. It's a very important project. I call it project because the books are very important, and nowadays people are hardly finding it time to read a book. And some of us go through Amazon, but we are old-fashioned people. Yeah. We read books, and continuously reading a book is something which inspired me. Whether we're sitting on the transit time, or whether you are in the hospital waiting for someone, or whether you are in the market, finding a book and reading it, and then killing time, especially on plane if you are in longer flight, traveling from here to.
It's a really good friend. Book is always your best friend.
So this is one thing we had to understand, that while having each time a book and talking about that book will at the end of the program will give a lot of ideas to students, and there is a lot of motivation, energy required, because I'm kind of guy who loves books. And I'm always around books, so that's something which we have to focus this program. And I'm sure as a host of the program, Neelfor, thanks for my invitation to be on the program.
Thank you so much.
We wanted to someone very compatible, and I think you will do a great job here. And we'll have a power lunch session, like 1 hour session. Of course, UMT TV will have their own recordings, and they will edit and will show to our friends. So this is the basic idea about the books.
Okay, so listeners, today the book we are discussing is Anger Kills. So, sir, please tell us more about the book. What is it is about?
Basically, there are so many books to go through. Last time we had a book on breakthrough thinking. We had a workshop on levels of thought. That is one of another inspiring book. But there are certain books which really gives you a lot of provoke it. You get provoked. Okay, yaar, what happens with me? And this Anger Kills is something which provokes you. Okay, yaar, this is something which we are doing it. Why can't we just stop ourselves? And why not? Why we are doing it? And that's why this Anger Kills book gives a lot of principles. They said 17 principles in it. Okay. So we'll try to cover a few principles, and we'll try to talk about those principles.
Okay, so first of all, tell us what is anger and how it comes.
It is in the it is basically the adrenaline cells and the body through communication. There's a gap between thinking and understanding.
Okay.
How do you think and how do you understand it? The communication takes you to that level, and response is from your mind.
Okay.
And that mindset is while using that response, get reactive if something is against your what you are trying to listen back, return back, and that is something which we have to reduce it. If you want to know, I don't want to go in too much in philosophy, but once you are trying to reduce that gap, that intensity, because that will help a lot. Health point of view, learning point of view, successful point of view, because at the end of the program when you're speaking to someone, you don't remember you just remember what he or she said in anger. You see their body language. So that is something, the first response that you get from that anger.
Exactly, that's very nice. So, sir, tell us this. The book name is Anger Kills. So, what are the disadvantages of anger in our personal daily life?
There are a lot of disadvantages, and some are advantages. I use not the word advantage or disadvantage. I use the word in anger. We use the word in the mind sciences people, attack versus counter-attack.
Okay.
If you are attacking the theory assumption, then you have to come up with the assumption to counter-attack it.
All right.
So the first thing which
then anger comes when you try to counter someone.
Yeah, if you like, if I offend you, I say, oh, you are late. And if I say, Neelfor, you are late, the tone, the way the body language will give you the response. How you're going to respond back, and whether I'm expecting you. Sometimes I'm provoking you to become anger, and sometimes I'm trying to show you that I want you to be angry. But many times I don't want it, and most of the time people don't know
Yes.
when they are speaking to someone they are sharing, and they don't know whether if I want to offend you, I can offend you. Say, oh, why you were late?
Yes. So anger is basically a behavior, a human behavior, which comes out when someone provokes you for something.
It is part of behavior. I mean, there are a lot of other ingredients of behavior. There are a lot of things which are part of behavior. But anger is very important part. But it causes a lot of damages. And that damages is not just health damages, I said earlier. These damages are also damages in your life. Your success factor, your factor. By the way, you say, when you use the word by the way, I saw Neelfer and she was just going on the other side. The way I say it, the way I language it, I can say she was on the other side. I just saw walk her, and you say that I saw Ahmad. He was talking in a way that body language, the spectral gestures are very important part of it. How to control it's not that easy. Because there's a possibility that on the other side I may be having some other issues in my mind, and while I see you, I was not very positive. The energies were not that positive.
Yes. Okay, so we many times we talk about, we listen around that anger management. So what is anger management?
Anger management is the philosophy to anger. That if there is an anger, you get angry for what? I mean, there are a lot of series of angers. There's a lot of series of attributes behind it. For example, I can say you are angry because of domestic issues. Because I don't know why you're angry. If I ask you a generic question, you're angry. So I don't know whether you're angry about what? Why?
Okay, means before learning anger management, we must learn that why we are getting angry.
We have to try to identify why we are angry. Let's say if someone is unhappy or unsatisfied, or because maybe we don't know the reason, he or she comes from some other. There is some other. What is the perspective behind thinking and understanding? Like I said earlier, when I started, that thinking and understanding में जो gap होता है, we have to reduce that gap. Because how you are thinking and understanding and I'm thinking and understanding, they are different. Both are different knowledge partners.
That's very true. So, sir, how do you, like in your daily life, if you have to face anger, you are facing such a situation, so how you control that?
Sometimes it's not easy. Most of the time it's not easy, I would say. It's not easy to control it, and then at the end you feel bad about it. That's emotional rodeo. Emotional rodeo is something which is in your mind, and you are like a rodeo. You have seen the rodeo, right? You're sitting on the bull and you're thinking, and this is how it is most of the time. It is extremely difficult to control anger. Although understanding it, thinking about it, trying to reduce it, I don't see that when people say I don't get angry, मुझे तो गुस्सा ही नहीं आता. But there is, उर्दू में कहते हैं मत मारने वाले. There are always around people which you will find
which piss you off many times. How much you are social intelligent. So there are a lot of things to learn. Learning more about it, talking about more about it, sharing is something which will help you. Okay, so by sharing it, by talking about it, like creating the awareness, we can make the level of anger lower.
It will make you angry if your appraisal is not that good and your colleague has it.
Exactly.
It will make you angry when you will find out that you come home and you have you have to do something extra for it. It will make you angry when you have you have to wait for something for some reason at the traffic light and you reach late and Bob Wheeler is upset, and it will these are the things. But there are always reason, intuition how to spell out, because we have a lot of fear of failure and rejection. And anger is one part. It takes you to that. I said provoke it. Fear of failure and rejection. कि ये ना हो जाए, वो ना हो जाए, what will happen? Most of the time we are around us, the common things, homogeneous things are easier to control, but heterogeneous is difficult, because what other is thinking from their mind of set and what you conceiving, how to वो उसको कैसे आपने reduce करना है.
That's really nice. Okay, so we are talking about anger. So tell us that in many places situation gets so much worse and we are unable to control them. So is there any way to make it little lighter?
Unfortunately, it is extremely difficult when people feel that there is injustice, when they feel that they have done undergraduate and there is no job for them. They feel it when they have done engineering and now they are working for HR. It feels them really unhappy, unsatisfied when they spend 2 million or 4 million after graduation, or they return home from abroad and they don't find it. It is extremely difficult situation. That anger is there, and that anger will take you to frustration or stress or tension, some kind of another rodeo.
Exactly, it will.
It's all emotional game, emotional rodeo. It is extremely difficult.
And even
I can continue if someone's son died in the war and captain and his family, you just go on to janaza and come back, but that will take them to anger some part. She may be introvert, that his wife, but that will anger.
Okay.
How to reduce it, how to intensity, first to understand and realize that this is something which there can be remedy to spiritual healing, like we namaz. You can go to namaz 5 times.
Namaz heals anger?
Extreme damages control namaz. I think the first thing, or if you are a Christian, you go to church.
Okay.
You are a Baptist.
It's the religious aspect that whatever religion you follow.
That is extremely very strong, especially in our society where developing where people are lesser developed. People in developing countries, they are more religious.
Okay.
They are more homogeneous. They live together. When there is a problem, there is a healing. There is a tribal system. There is a community system. Chacha, baba, mama system. Friend system. They come to you. They speak to you. In USA, in the Western world, there is a heterogeneous society. Where there is people, they don't like to talk about. They're more introvert. Okay. They like to go to their expertise. They don't want to talk about. They don't want to show anger or weeping out or pressure or frustration. They will go to the experience. They go to doctors, psychiatrists, the different markets. So in Pakistan, and they are less religious. They will not go to church or the mosques or any other of the religion. They will try to find ways, and they're trying to win or maybe read like Dalai Lama is there. There are a lot of books. Sanjay Gupta. So there is a lot of ways of getting the help, because I don't know. Like I don't know, Neelofar, which background, which past experience you are from.
Yeah.
If I have known you, if I've done your catharsis, I've done your work, then I will have the test of you and then try to find. It's not that easy job.
That's really true. So you have talked about catharsis. So catharsis and anger. Does catharsis helps to lower the anger?
A lot. Especially I'm very close to my daughter, and while in a dentistry, her mother wants her to be dentist, and she was like pushing her nerves, and that's what catharsis is about. You try to come up with some commonalities. Similarities are very important part of it. We try to have in families, especially domestic issues. I always say that we talk too much about differential things like bullying, harassing all the time. Exactly. That we're not trying to come up with commonality. Yeah, this is good, and ye na karo, wo na karo.
Yes.
Try to win them first.
That's really true.
Rather than having a dialogue. I told my daughter that she can go anywhere. If she doesn't want to do dentistry, she doesn't want to become a doctor, or she wants to become a doctor, she doesn't forget mom. And then what happens is after then I say, if you know how much doctors make in USA, what is doctor, how much respect you can earn, and then you win them by reason and intuition. That's why people who are mature, professional, more educated in societies, they go on reason, intuitions. They don't go on faith and just luck. They just say, don't say कि जी faith है, साडा जी faith है, बस इस तरह ही होना है, luck है जी, luck is a residual design होती है.
Exactly.
तो ठीक है ना?
So sir, you have talked about the domestic life. So when we look at the domestic life or our home life, so there the anger when between there's a fight between a husband and a wife, anger is always there. So how they can reduce that level?
Most of the time, there are many issues behind it, because if you try to financial issues, targets, people are miscommunication. There is a level of thought difference, competency difference, too much love. Too much emotion, too much film chal rahi hai. They want life is family is not about story. It's not about a film. A lot of times, and then people are angry. They get anger. they get anger because of domestic issues, very common. The first thing they start arguing about, blaming each other.
Yes.
I mean, especially in a relationship, they blame each other. Because of you, because of this, because of that, I could not survive when I come home. Smaller issues.
So if we try to stop blaming people around us.
It's
so
the first thing we have to do. I
Okay.
think stop blaming people. Blame is something which is not. Worrying is good. You worry about it, but worry takes you towards blame.
Okay.
Because you talk too much worry. The certain things you cannot do. External forces hai.
Yes.
There are let's say if someone is making 20,000 rupees a month, he or she, they're going to make 20,000 a month. And every time
The survival is
why not try to
tough.
bridge out how to do about it, and if there is any solution to it. Otherwise, it will not stop. Anger will continue. The fight will continue.
How can we counsel people regarding anger so they can?
There are many ways of doing it. Already we have seen, like I said earlier, that in homogeneous societies, in our societies, in our villages, in our even homes, we have our seniors. And with that, seniors people definitely they are the counselor. I think maybe when you ask me more questions, we will have discussion.
You are listening FM 98.2, and today we are here with Mr. Ahmad Qureshi, and we are talking about the book Anger Kills. So before the show, we were talking that what is anger, how we can control it, what are the effects of anger on our daily life. So, sir, tell us, you have read this book, so what you have learned in this?
The first thing we have to understand about this book is that few days back, just an example, my father got dialysis. He got the problem, he got sugar, blood pressure, and he said, why I have got dialysis? I mean, this is what most of the people at the start they say, why I was not part of, why, because why, when we realize it, the first chapter is very interesting. It says, am I at a risk?
Yes.
What it means that we never thought about it. We think about it, how to dress up, how to eat, how to go around, how to have a good time, how to fight, how to have anger, but we don't. Okay, how much risk is there?
Yeah.
Is it possible that he or she, we can control it?
Yeah.
At least we can try that. If it's not possible, external forces, at least internally can we control it?
Yes.
So am I at a risk is something which is very important. फिर पहले बंदे को realization ही नहीं होता कि यार मतलब before we walk in and walk out of this program,
Yes.
whether we thought of it कि यार
So
this
actions.
anger can do what?
Okay, so
Danger.
by our own actions we can control it. Okay.
We can just make please doctors, or maybe we can get some heart. It can create an heart attack. And
yes.
even just taking the cost of the वो एक जो डालते हैं उसके अंदर heart attack, how much it's so expensive, and how the family will react. और उसके बाद life change हो जाती है.
Exactly.
And
life
then you try to be formless, relaxed. So this is something which is first point.
Okay, so what more?
There is a lot more to talk about in this book. I can continue explaining it there, but the most important point which Neelofar, we have to understand as students are here, that it's not the end of the world. Why there is a requirement to be religious. Why we have to confrontation towards namaz and our holy book, why there is more confrontation about life after, because then it reduces our and listening to others. Why in our society, I can come back that we have father figures.
Yes.
Father figures are basically it could be your dad, your mom, your chacha, someone
your teacher,
someone who is a teacher, or maybe in our society, what are the father figures in small city? Maulvis, some senior influential people, and then you listen. Don't want to, they provoke you. But in our family society, if you listen to father figures, they help and treat you. But the thing is that external, internal forces reaction रहता है आपका उनके साथ. वो नहीं खत्म होता.
Sir, here we are talking about external factors which provoke you to get angry. So how we can eliminate those things?
Like I said, it's not easier to eliminate them, but if you started knowing that where they will take you, at least we can try how much we really, honestly, we look at ourselves and see how much we really work hard. Hard work versus good habits. One of the simple formula to improve our lifestyle, because a lot of people get anger because of lifestyle. Subah utha nahi jata, I am not able to take a good sleep. I am not able to work. Either what time we come to office, how much time we give, the time strategy versus time tactics. Lot of things we have to work on it, and it's very sensitive and very personal matter. We don't. It's not easy to have an anger management workshop with 20-30 people at the end clap, had a good food and leave. It will not solve that issue unless you speak catharsis one-to-one. Anger management workshop basically interactive, where you are having interactive attack versus counter attack assumptions with other fellow, and you try at the end of the program you feel he or she has something to come out of it, because in anger management you can't just have someone just sitting here till the end of the program and not coming up with a single word.
Okay, that's very really interesting to know. Okay, so in our daily life, in our society, we see that people, they are all the time, they are having aggression, they meet you aggressively. Where does that aggression come from?
Thanks to our media, thanks to people. There are a lot of issues as well as. I mean, people are facing a lot of issues. First, we have to understand, hardly meet their expenses. At home, newness nahi hai. People get bored with the same lifestyle. There's not much interest. There's not much to do because people don't have the habit, like I said earlier, not to read anything. If they don't want to read Angrezi, they can read an Urdu book. If they don't, how many people have read Quran Majid? How many people have read Quran Majid with Tashri? How many people have read any book? Anything, something which the first thing is they have how much करने को नहीं है, बोर हो रहे हैं, and then when they sit around, they watch TV programs, rhetoric program, they move around, they talk about that,
and even media provokes you for that.
Media provokes you that. Media definitely they have their own issues. They are doing their own work. Some of the programs are very good. They are very useful for the society. In my days, there was only one channel, PTV, and in USA, वगैरह में भी. But यहाँ पे now you see a lot of work is done, and this is one of the attempts we are doing now. That starting from today, if we do like 2 or 3 workshops each week, power programs, lunch programs, and we do it, and like after 52 weeks, if someone is continuously listening, he or she may have a lot of questions. They can talk to us on Facebook. They can come and to our show. They can discuss, and then they will have lot of understanding. Most of the problems are just because of offending other. Like I said, do not offend the wrong person. There's another book, Do Not Offend the Wrong Person. I'll bring that. That I can offend you by saying, yeah, you're not dressed up. You can say, sir, where is your tie? Why you're not shaved? Or you can say, yeah, sir, you look tired. And Ahmad, what happened? And then people get offended. So we have to find ways that don't risk that, because that will take you to a dialogue, and that dialogue will take you to the mindset, and the mind is reactive. That will take you to attack, and then you have to attack versus counter attack. जिस तरह lawyers नहीं कर रहे थे आपस में,
बिल्कुल ऐसे
उस तरह की चीज चल पड़ेगी.
So true. Okay, so we are talking about anger. So what do you say, anger and happiness? What is like the relationship between the both? Does happiness, when there is a lot of happiness, your aggression is lower, and when you lack in that, so aggression is like at the peak. So what is that?
Anger and happiness is like India and Pakistan. There's always a fighting going on, a firing going on, because you have to stay happy. How are you going to stay happy? When you start thinking that you are happy, if you continue trying to struggle for happiness, you will never get happy. Struggling for happiness, that always that I'm not happy, you start pretending, you start believing, you start reducing. Formless ho jao, relax karo, It's not easy. I can say that like I live here alone in Pakistan, and I get angry also, I get provoked, because there's nothing much to do. Sometimes I'm alone walking around.
But you're always doing something.
That makes me understand that this is how it is. Once you start having a relationship with something you love about, you cherish about, and that takes you to anger. And that's what India-Pakistan war, like I said,
Okay.
You have that, and then you say this is all because of luck is a residual design. It's all designed and it's all luck and faith, and then you don't follow, and that will take you nowhere.
So, sir, from your personal life, have you ever experienced the extreme aggression, extreme anger?
Lots of time.
Lots of the time.
Lot of failures.
Okay.
A lot of failures in business, in financial problems, in having relationship, in having fight. Sometimes I apologize, and then this is how it is. This is life.
This is life.
Sometimes you feel guilty, you feel suppressed. You do things and then you feel bad about it. This is very common. That takes you angry. You frustrated, anger, and then sometimes you say that आपके साथ ज़्यादती हुई है, and the other, and then you get angry. And this is how it is.
Okay.
Why I was.
So how you control? How you overcome that thing?
Sometimes you don't have to think about it. Sometimes when you start thinking and discussing too much,
Okay.
it's like always discussing around and talking about it and discussing it. Sometimes it's good because
Okay.
you're talking. Oh, yeah, this is because
Like if you want to hit someone, would you hit him?
I go to dentist and my dentist is charging. I mean, and she says, "He charged me. Oh, you were ripped off. I was charged 25,000. में मैंने scaling कराई है. You did it for 5,000. That Neelofar will get angry कि अहमद ने कैसे 5,000 में करा ली.
Yeah.
So anger will take the dialogue will create. So sometimes you are afraid कि यार there should be no dialogue because if I'm sitting there and if someone walk into me and say hello. May I sit with you? Can I have a lunch with you? बैठा हुआ और you started talking about your healing. यार मैंने scaling कराई थी and I spent 25,000 rupees. He said, sir, मैंने तो 5,000 कराई है. Or doctor was good bleeding me. That makes you angry.
Yeah.
And you say unfair हुआ ना. So there is always and there is no end to it.
End to it.
There is no end to things, and of course, जैसे money है. If my age, if start comparing, there are many people who are making so much money, but there are many people who are so that makes you angry.
All right.
There's so much unfairness and competition.
Okay, so we cannot control it or we cannot overcome it, but why is there so much anger and why we are unable to control it?
Because this is not a heaven. This is the life. Life is all about it. There will be, like I said, there are two kinds of societies. One is our society, where is homogeneous people. People live in. They don't like to share much their problem. They like to share with their family. The daughter will like to share with her mother or father or chacha, father figures. But people in Western society, they don't like to share with parents.
Right.
Daughter is not going to share that. Why? I'm not going to share with you. I have problems. I have this problem. I have that problem. Dash. She will go to an expert. She is getting bad grades. The parents-teacher meeting is fine, but आगे she will try के specialist जाए. So that is a different society, different mindsets, different way of approaching it. But the thing is कि are we approaching it? Are we trying to solve it?
Exactly.
Or solving does not mean that at the end of the program we say कि solve करना है.
Yes.
It's just to understand it, reduce it.
Reduce it.
Calmness लाना ही है.
Yes.
Okay जी इसका solution क्या है? वो 1+1 anger नहीं है, 2 नहीं होगा.
Yes.
उसकी कोई solution नहीं है.
You are listening FM 98.2 and today we are having here Mr. Ahmad Qureshi with us who is discussing about anger and what are the effects of anger, how we can control it and what are the things about it. Okay, so sir, tell us in our daily life, like when there is a relationship, like a wife and a husband, they fight with each other, they show anger, aggression. So what is the effect of their anger on their children?
One is fight.
Yeah.
Fight has many things. It's a body language. Just a fight of body language, tone, or they are actually fighting like India and Pakistan. I said they are fighting a lot. It all depends how they affect very badly. They affect the whole thing because in many the tone, the language, and the vulgarities I've seen in many places. People get abused children are badly damaged.
Yes.
They felt isolated, and they start hating parents, especially fathers.
Their relationship gets worse.
And I think especially I've seen most of the cases I've seen people, they diagnose that the son or mother, the daughter, they are towards mother, and this is happening. It's very common.
Yes,
in our society, and even in USA, it's more common in USA than in Pakistan.
Even it destroys the career of the children as well.
The only difference is that in the Western world, they call you. There's a system. You call someone, the police, and then they arrest them, or there's a counseling session. So there is a more awareness.
Okay.
Here is morely concealed by conciliation होती है with their parents and they sit down if they want to conceal.
You have been in abroad for so many years. So how do you feel like? What is the difference about in abroad and here?
The main difference I just explained that there is it's not easy to share. There are friends, you meet friends at happy hour, you meet in the office conference room, but they're more like, but there is a routine there. If you are caught, they find out that you have some issues, they will put you to the program.
Like they have a proper structure for
There
it.
are all funded programs by the community centers, the towns, and this is it's on priority basis.
Okay.
If they find out that there is a fight between husband and wife, there is a possibility they will arrest one of them, or there is a possibility that after bail they will put them on treatment, and the treatment is very tense, where they have to go through tests. They have to go through the whole psychological test from there, and the counselor are mostly Angrez, the Americans.
Okay.
So the system they have to follow that one, because we are from here and we say, oh, in our society is okay with that, but they don't buy that. You have to see that because the जो bad चीज़ है bad है. You are not supposed to speak to somebody loud. You are not speaking. वहाँ पे ये चीज़ें हैं. Pakistan maybe I've seen there are consumer rights. There is happening in our society. There is a call. You can call and there are lawyers. They are working on it. Asma Jangir hai और बहुत से नाम हैं. I've seen some our program, national outreach program, also helps people who are in issues. They will help. We have our own law firm. We have our own office. And we are in 53 cities. We try to indulge that, but it's quite difficult. It's very sensitive issue, very private issue. People don't want to talk about it, especially women बाद में यू टर्न ले लेती है. वो फाइट नहीं करती केस को, वो कहती नहीं है डिवोर्स तक ना हो जाए, सेपरेशन हो जाए, शी गेट्स सेपरेट. अमेरिका में होता है कि देयर आर मेनी सेपरेशन डिवोर्सेस वेरी कॉमन. यहाँ पे वो नहीं है.
Exactly, that's really a good thing. Asha sir, you have been working in the corporate sector. So what do you see, like how they control anger in the corporate sector?
I'm still working in the corporate sector. I'm working in UMT. I see the culture is very positive, like our university and a lot of other places. Things are changed now. People are working on. आज भी एक email आई है यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से कि harassment की जो नई clauses आई हैं. They try to tell people, they try to inform people, and there is a excellent support system we have at university and other universities where you know how to speak out, how to stay, whether or not you're allowed to shake hands with your other friends, females, whether you all kind of things, and working together how to work. So I think things are changed, but still if you go to some other most of the places in industry, things are not that mature.
So how they can get better?
By coming up with new generation. I see new generation coming in. I see a lot of new young professionals. They are not only working. It's not just about we are. अब हम दूसरी तरफ subject के चले गए anger management के. The people when they are talking about the performance, capacity building, so they don't want people to be angry. They don't want they don't want people to stay on. There may be a problem that कोई death होगी, कोई problem होगी, hospital.
Exactly.
It's okay with that. You can console, but they don't want to have a long term problem.
Yes.
They the working places, like we have to have counselors. We still need to have psychologists, but unfortunately industries में नहीं है, कम है.
Exactly, that's very nice. So we are talking here about anger, and Mr. Ahmad Qureshi is here with us. He has talked about like you have told that capacity. If we will build our capacity, we can overcome anger.
Unfortunately, at this moment, child abuse is another causing anger, because children are working. They are working at home. आपके maids बनी हुई बच्चियाँ. They are not. They say their parents say कि यार rather than sending them to school 5,000 पे आ रहे हैं, 3,000 आ रहे हैं.
Exactly,
they are going to schools. We have mashallah vocational school here, so that rather than they to get something. But this is something which we have to do in villages and rural areas. ज़्यादातर. And this is parents are बच्चियाँ they are angry. They feel injustice, they feel fear that brother भाई तो पढ़ा है स्कूल में और बहन जो है वो काम कर रही है.
Exactly. So you have talked about injustice because of when we don't get justice, we get angry. So how we can like tell people that how they can overcome this problem?
It is not easy to inform, because especially people who are, especially females, let's say someone is living in some remote area, some place, and she is getting abused, harassed, bullying. by someone, could be father, could be mother, कि तेरा तो रिश्ता नहीं हो रहा, तू ते मुसीबत पे आ गई, तू ते मलन जग गई. These kind of words, language, jargons are used.
In our rural areas.
It is very common. And then she is in anger, she is in unsatisfied. But this is how it is. I mean, the only thing is that we have to reach to them. We have to speak to them. I think there is like यहाँ पे trainings होती हैं. I say teachers training is important. Teachers training does not mean just at यूनिवर्सिटी में तो हर वक्त हो रही होती है, प्राइवेट है. बट व्हाट अबाउट दोज प्लेसेस देयर बिकॉज टीचर इज समवन और कोच इज समवन because you reach out those places.
Exactly.
Or unfortunately we still are far behind in counseling system, learning system. How many people are really interested in these programs जो हम कर रहे हैं? But eventually they get heart attack or they get depression, they get sugar problem, even यहाँ तक है कि डायलिसिस, आई मीन आपको किडनी इफेक्ट हो जाता है, मेंटली तौर पे डिस्टर्ब, डिप्रेशन हो जाता है, आई एम सीइंग डिप्रेस्ड पेशेंट्स हो जाते हैं, एंड दे नेवर सक्सेसफुल.
That's really true. So this is a very sad factor of anger, that we actually killing ourselves by anger.
And like Neelfor, I can ask you one question if you allow. I mean, you are a female, you're working in university, and you look around. How do you look at anger, and you think how you control your anger? You are asking me so many questions, but I was thinking how you control your anger. People look at you, you are going and they were smiling, whether you say whether I should smile back or not. You're walking around, you see somebody and that maybe burns you.
Yes.
क्या करते हो?
Being a female, it's like anger. Any person can get angry very easily, and it is really quite difficult to control it. And being a female, it is like really tough. But I personally, what I do is whenever there is something happening which I'm not liking, and I feel like I can get angry or I can get pissed off, so I try to avoid those things, and I want to look at the positive things out of those bad things. So it makes me happy and I feel little pleasant.
If we take a just general percentage, 50% out of 100%, domestically, domestic issues make you more angry, or kitne percentage you will go to office?
It's like 50-50. At times at home you get angry due to anything, like your closet is not in ready condition, your car is not working well, or you went home and the dinner is not prepared. You feel like, oh God, after so long hectic day, I have reached home and the dinner is not ready. So there are things.
There are issues which are far beyond your extra control, like factors, like someone is caught in a different dilemma which is in life and circle and sand में फंस गया, तो उससे निकलना, जैसे अल्लाह माफी दे, and then that is something which we as a society are far behind. We have to work a lot. I like हमारे psychology department है, the people who
actually, sir, what I feel is, Ahmed, we are not actually counseled, we are not taught, we are not guided how to control, how to overcome anger. So this is a big dilemma of our society. But if we are taught in a right way that how you can overcome anger, so we can control it, we can make this world a heaven.
People think they are पागल, हमें पागल समझे हैं. मतलब when you talk to them कि they should, I mean, how do you think there are tests? We do a lot of tests on anger management. I have the whole workshops. Do you think that when you bring people to workshops, whether they'll be able to speak out their issues in front of all people?
So many people they avoid.
That's an issue. Because so it means that counseling should be one-to-one.
One-to-one. I prefer this.
And then it's extremely expensive
because there are so many issues which you cannot tell around everyone. So that's.
So the bottom line which we conclude with these like anger kills is that anger will kill you. It burns you. Killing is like you are daily kill yourself. You are killed inside. You are already fried. It does not mean that you are dead. It means that it has already been, you have been fried. You are burned inside. जिस तरह कहते हैं सड़ा होता आदमी चला आता है. And then you are living a life and you are never happy. You look around, people look at you, and every time you have to give a justification. यार क्या वजह? Why you are unhappy? क्या हुआ? खैरियत है? क्या हुआ तुझे? क्या हुआ बेटा? क्या हुआ? And then she or he has to have a continuously talking to people. It will make you more angry.
Exactly.
So it's like a fried egg. You're continuously fried and burned and burning is never ending.
Exactly, that's really true. It was a very healthy discussion with the Ahmad Qureshi Sahab. So here we are ending up with the show. Thank you.
And I would say that thank you for your time for the idea. We shared the idea, and I think Kamal, you and we'll bring. We'll have more books coming up.
More books and more people
I would
here.
say the audience who are listening can also refer any book. If they say कि यार ये बहुत अच्छी book है तो उसको ले आएंगे. We can discuss that. If somebody wants to come to our show.
Yes. Exactly. So, if any one of you want to suggest a book that you want us to discuss here, you can suggest a book on the Ahmad Qureshi's book. On Ahmad Qureshi's Facebook page as well. So here we are ending up, and I just want you to give a message here, ending message to the listeners.
I think the most important message is the quote is, life is God's gift to you. The way you live it is your gift to God. God does not want you to, He doesn't, the Almighty doesn't want you to stay angry. He did not make this world unhappy place. Yes. He wants you to be happy, but don't fight for the happiness. Don't fight for the anger. Try to reduce the intensity. ठंड रखो, थोड़ा relax रहो. कच्चे कांदे ना हो. And then you start enjoying life. Yes. You're feeling a little better about it.
Exactly.
So this is my message.
Perfect. That's very nice. So here will say Allah Hafiz.